Welcome to the Real Aesthetic Podcast, a real deal on like aesthetics and stuff.
Oh, we've been rolling this whole time.
He was my gopher.
I'm your host, Alexis Arsenis. We're going to have a good time here. Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Aesthetic Podcast, where we dive deep into the world of skincare, health, and wellness. And today we're going to be taking it a little bit different and talking about makeup and how it correlates to skincare. Behind the camera is my trusted, amazing producer, Nick. And my awesome guest today is Miss Alice. I'm so excited.
Me too.
So for people that don't know, Alice is a phenomenal makeup artist and the only person who is allowed to touch my face. She did not do my makeup today, so please. This is just Alexis's like a little bit of tinted sunscreen right here, a little highlighter. But tell everyone a little bit about you. Like, how long have you been doing makeup?
Boy. I don't know exactly. I think a little over 15 years, maybe 16, 17, something like that.
Well, you're like an art student though.
Yes.
So you look at makeup, I think, different.
I definitely do. I went to art school. I do feel so when I was going to college at Mass Art, I was like, you know what, I want to work for MAC. I always wanted to work for MAC because I saw them more of it as like an artistry brand than, just beauty and makeup. And so I applied and I got the job. So I was working at MAC while I was attending art school and kind of doing both. And so now I do both. I'm a makeup artist and an artist.
That's awesome. Do you prefer like MAC products? Is that like still your go-to?
I do. I feel like everyone asks me that question and I'm like, why do I just like have but I don't know. I just believe that they do so much product research and they put a lot into the products and they're not like crazy about like packaging like some other brands like Too Faced and like Benefit. They're like
the packaging is more important than the product type deal?
Yes. And they've always been a little bit more on the professional side. Like packaging is super simple, more on the artistry side versus the consumer side. I mean, now they're going a little bit more in the other direction, but until the products don't withstand quality, then yep.
So you stick to mainly all MAC though? Like, do you have any other brands?
I love Charlotte Tilbury. I love
I really do like that palette. Maybe that's the palette I'll buy.
I like Charlotte Tilbury. So I look at makeup in like, so it's weird. I almost like categorize makeup when I walk into a store like Sephora, Ulta. I'm like, Charlotte Tilbury is your glowy, sort of like what's the word? Rose gold sort of like palette, glitzy. So I would say like glittery, glowy, pretty, like pink. And then I think of like other brands like Makeup by Mario, strictly professional, on camera, camera ready. Not a lot of products. I like Makeup by Mario. I like Makeup Forever. I like them all. I just feel like MAC has the most. Everything is good there.
Like it's everything. You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong, no matter what you buy.
So there's like so many things that we could go into, and I'm like, oh, which way do we go?
I know.
But you have your own business, so like you have your own studio.
Yep.
So how did that happen? Like, how did you get to that point? Because I feel like a lot of makeup artists now are struggling to like.
Yeah. So when I was working at MAC and attending college, I also did weddings on the side, which was not like anybody that worked with me at MAC didn't want to do that because they're like, I have to commit to weekends working here in the retail industry, and then I don't want to like commit to doing weddings and then coming here to work or whatever. So I was kind of the only one doing them, not the only one, but and so I built up like a wedding business, and from there, like let's say there's like 5 to 6 plus bridesmaids every wedding. So if you over the years count that all up, those ended up being like all my clients that now come to me for event makeup and headshots, maternity photo shoots, engagement shoots.
I know. I've
everything.
come to you. I don't even know how many times now.
There's like so many random things because you know what it is social media. So
yeah,
back then it used to be like people like Kim Kardashian, Jennifer Lopez, all the celebrities were just doing their makeup. They did their makeup camera ready because they were going to be on camera, taking photos. So they wanted the rest of the world to see them looking good. So they did like the contour and all that. And that's what people don't realize is like, that's where it all started. They're like, oh, I want to be contoured like Kim Kardashian. And it's like, you got to realize that's camera makeup. And they need to look good for like 50 million people seeing their picture, not 50 million people seeing them in person. So that's the difference. And And then little by little, like, so with, social media blowing up, people are pretty much like mini celebrities. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna see their picture on Facebook from the wedding they just went to. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like people from high school, all that kind of stuff. So
I find it funny. People are still like hell bent over like, oh, I have to post this. But, like people from high school are gonna see it. And I'm
yeah,
like,
well, that's what
who
it
do you
is.
care about people in high school?
Right.
Like
And even like
30.
even women who are like in their 60s now, they're like, feeling the same way because they're like, people that I haven't seen in 30 years might see it, and people across the country if they have family over there and stuff. So it's becoming a bigger thing.
Mhm.
Just event makeup, not just like makeup for weddings.
So for me, like when I first started in like skincare, like that's what I was doing. Is I was doing makeup all the time, and I did how like I really got pushed into it was when I was working with Hydrofacial. We were at this Allure magazine shoot in this like crazy random studio in New York. And they were like, we have this makeup artist like isn't here. She isn't back from lunch, and her whole kit was
Oh
like
my
there.
gosh.
And they're like, well, what do we do? We need this glowy look. And I was like, I,
Me.
I can do it. Like, they were like, but can you? And I was like, well,
Who else is gonna do
sure.
it?
Like, are you just not going to shoot today? And these models were, what was her name? She was like this like famous actress. I forget her name. Like, not
Mm,
that crazy, but like
yeah.
I think I forget her name. I'll figure it out. And she was like, listen, I just want like a matte, a matte semi glowy look. I go, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did her makeup, and the guy goes, are you the makeup artist we hired? And I was like, no, but like, I just did it because like this lady told me to do it. And he was like, great, you have 6 more people. And I was like,
Oh my god.
then this girl comes back and she's like, what are you touching my makeup for?
Ooh.
And I was like, okay, awkward moment.
Ooh. Because you weren't here.
Like
That's
you
why.
weren't here, so like I just did it, but like if you want to take over, that's great. She
Right.
does the next model, and the photographer's like, no. Like, why is this and she had like this giant concealer mark. Like, when it's like obvious, like
Yes,
like no
yes.
blending done.
Yes, yes.
And she was like, this is the look that they told me to do. And he was like, clearly you didn't read like any of the stuff that we sent you. So I was like, no, like we can fix this. And I was like, oh, let's just blend it out.
Oh my god.
And it looked fine. And he was like, great. So can you stay? And I'm like, then after the shoot, they were like, well, what do you here for? And I was like, I'm literally supposed to set up this device for you to take pictures with it. And all the models were like, well, we want to take this shit off. Like, I don't like to wear this all day.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why don't we do hydrofacial after? And then I was doing hydrofacials to them, and they were like, no one does this. And I was like, well, generally I would like to do it before I put your makeup on. But they were like obsessed with it. So that's kind of like how I
Ooh.
got into makeup in
I
New York.
love
And now I
that.
don't do my makeup at all, which is really funny.
Well, because you have amazing skin.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think the models try to do that, but during Fashion Week and all that kind of stuff, they
They
really
put
can't.
so
But
much shit on their face.
they take it off right away.
Yeah. Well, see, I have a lot of influencers that like come to Bloom, and what they look like online
Is
and what
not-
they look like
yeah.
when they come see me for their skin
Yeah.
is 2 totally different people.
Makeup?
Yeah. But like too much. Like, you're pretty. Like, why are you caking it on?
Okay.
Do you know what oh, you're shaking. I knew
Because I'm like, okay.
let's go. Tell me. Like, but it's
No,
like
no, no.
too much. Like, I feel like, all right, like you don't have to look like a
Are you saying
drag
that?
queen.
Are you saying it looks like they're wearing a lot of makeup?
Yeah, like they're
Mm.
wearing too much. Like, I feel like you could wear makeup and look
Are
beautiful.
they wearing too much? Or are they not wearing the right kind?
I would say it's a mix of both, for sure. But I feel like they feel like they need it to go to the grocery store, and I'm like, yo, like if you just like took care of your skin, like
Or do they like to apply it?
most of the girls don't that I talk
Oh.
to.
See, that's a huge difference. Like
Like they're like, no, I don't have
love it.
time.
I love it. It's my meditation. It's like someone else is
But
running
how
5
long does
miles.
it take you to do a full face for yourself?
15 minutes, not even.
Yeah,
If my
I guess
kids
it's
weren't
like-
always interrupting me, like 10.
Mom.
Yeah. But
do you find it hard to talk to your kids about makeup? Because I feel like
No.
that's a conversation that some people struggle with, where they're like,
Mhm.
I put makeup on to be beautiful. And it's like, no, like you're already beautiful. Like we just do this to enhance it. Like I feel like that conversation is like a big thing right now.
Right. I think because of the artistry side and the fact that they know that I appreciate art, they know that I enjoy it. And so that's how I explain it. I'm like, well, I just do it for fun, and yeah, it makes me look more awake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I make it like no big deal. Because my mom always wore a full face of makeup.
Yeah, my mom too.
And I never thought like, oh, she thinks she's ugly before she wears it. It's like, no, this is just what women do to just
Yeah.
feel good about themselves before the day starts.
Well, that's how I always looked at it. And now I don't know if it's like social media saturated or like everyone's super sensitive, but they're like, you need to learn to have this conversation with your daughters about like makeup and like how
Oh,
it,
because they can I have a drink of it?
yeah.
Is it because they go to Sephora and they buy all this stuff?
I don't know. The Sephora thing drives me nuts. I
But
don't know if it drives you nuts,
but
but
I've never heard that about the conversation with your daughters.
oh, I see it all the time. When I was looking up stuff to like talk to you about today, like different things, that was one of the things that like I saw a lot of podcasters talking about was like how to have that conversation. And I was like, because
Really?
one woman was saying like, oh, I put like I'm always beautiful, but I put makeup on, honey, to feel fancier. And I'm like,
Oh.
I never
Oh,
looked at it like that.
so I think because my daughters always saw me putting on makeup, it's not even a thing in their head.
Yeah,
But I
same.
do know another mom who came to me for a makeup class, and she had mentioned her daughter saying something about me wearing makeup every day or something to that effect. And
Yeah.
I said, oh, just tell her that I enjoy it so much. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
love the act of doing it. It's where
I
I
don't think
am
it needs to be a
zen.
negative thing. Like I think that people
No,
are looking makeup like, oh, you're hiding yourself. And I don't think that
no.
that's the intention. I
If
think
that's
that,
the case, you could say that like taking care of yourself as a whole is
yeah, superficial in a way.
superficial. And what else would you say? Like selfish maybe?
Do
I
you
don't know.
think that the kids today with like I feel like with TikTok and like Instagram, like the makeup craze is
Yeah.
like insane.
Um,
Do you feel like the Sephoras are just like,
I feel like the skincare thing is weird. I wouldn't say
oh my
makeup.
God, the skin?
I don't understand it because my daughter's 9 and she says girls in her class talk about going to Sephora and buying Drunk Elephant and this and
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, okay. And
But
I'm like,
like,
how do I feel about this?
why is it being marketed that little children and like 9-year-olds need retinol? Like that's a problem. Like you don't need to look younger. I feel like the media makes it seem like everything's pushing youth down your throat, like look younger, look younger. And these girls are like, oh my God, this is like a renewing serum. I'm going to renew my skin. I'm like, you were born yesterday.
I
Like you don't
wonder,
need to renew your skin.
I'm curious if they weren't exposed to the get ready with me videos and all that kind of stuff so much, would they
Yeah.
know about it?
But then again, it's like our daughters, like they grew up around makeup and skincare. I mean,
Right.
you must have a solid skincare routine.
No.
What? I mean, I guess I don't have a
I'm
solid
not
makeup
like,
routine,
I
so.
don't use medical grade or anything like that. I try different things.
And she's a friend of mine, guys. Like, come on.
I
I can set you up. I know a girl.
so I use, face wash and toner and moisturizer and eye cream and all that, but it's nothing good.
But wouldn't you think that prep is so important?
Yes.
Like,
I do, but I
So-
like to do makeup. So either way,
so you're like, fuck it. If it's not
Yeah.
that good, I can make it look good.
it's not even that thought process. It's I enjoy full cover, medium to full coverage, whether or not I have great skin, because I enjoy the artistry of. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know every
Does that
time you do
make
my makeup,
sense?
you're like, Alexis, you're dead. Because
No,
I'm yellow. My undertones are very yellow.
you're the palest of pale, and you're super yellow. But but
She
that.
goes,
But
let
here's
me
the
take this
thing.
yellow pigment. It's legit a yellow, like it's just yellow pigment. Like there was just
But so makeup. So like that's where, and we can get into history too, but that's
Do
where like
it.
blush comes in and bronzer to like give you vitality.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into this, but I'm going
You
to get into
can.
it.
Do
So
it.
in the Holocaust, women would pinch, do we know this? Like women
Yeah.
would pinch their fingertip to give them a little blood to put on their cheeks to just look more
I didn't know that.
vital, like the vital signs, like they
Like
are
to look
alive, that they're worthy of staying alive and working and doing all those things. So
That's like, I never even knew that.
yeah, so in that sense, I think makeup is awesome. It's a choice we have to, if we're looking pale or
Yeah.
less vital,
Yeah,
to
that's
be able
me.
to put the
I'm a little
blush on.
corpsey. My skin's like moisturized.
But you've worked to get
Corpsey.
no pigment,
yeah.
which is
Otherwise, I'd be a freckled disaster.
okay.
Because I'm like not a ginger, but like we're
Similar.
encroaching on the ginger-esque line.
Mhm.
So like I'm a light Greek. Like
Mhm.
I'm not, my sister's darker than I am. My brother's like a little bit more olivey.
Yep.
But I feel like I'm like this light olive because I don't like,
So you're not into the freckles, or you're into the freckles when they're naturally there, not with the sun. Like damaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have them, like, I could walk to my car and get, like, a full face of
From the
freckles
sun.
from the sun.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
So
like
you
to
don't like the fact that they're sun damaged freckles rather
Yeah.
than just there
I
naturally.
don't get the whole makeup craze of, like, putting freckles
Yeah,
on your
it's weird
face,
because
like,
they
the
look
whole
fake.
they look like, and it's always funny, it's always, like, right here.
I know.
Like, my freckles are all over my face.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
they're
right.
not. But I think, like, some girls like, I have a friend, she's a super ginger, like, beautiful,
Yep.
has a full face of freckles, and, like, you would need a boatload of coverage to cover, like, her face,
Yep.
but she would hate it.
Well, I
She's
would
like,
never cover someone's freckle. I
yeah, but
never.
if she wanted to,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
So, like, I like, I love retinol.
Mhm.
So, like, I love that, like, glowy
So what does
look.
retinol do? Like,
So it helps, like
is it an exfoliant?
yeah, essentially. I mean,
Yeah.
yes and no, but, like, so for me, like, my routine is, like, a really good vitamin C.
Mhm.
Your retinol is gonna help with that cell turnover, so, like, helping lift that pigment. I use a serum for pigment. Um, what else do I use? I'm a big Skin Better fan, so, like, I love all their products. It's a medical grade line, and their stuff works. Like, that's just kinda where I'm at.
Yep.
Right now, my little makeup craze that I'm in is I don't like to wear a lot because I do skin. I feel like
Right.
if I wore, like, a thick, full face every single day, my clients would be like, "Are you hiding
I'm in total agreeance with that.
like, if I wore, first of all, like, your skin now looks beautiful, right?
Okay.
Like, you have a full face on, but, like,
Mhm.
you don't look like you have, like, a thick,
Mhm.
full face on.
Mhm.
I could rock that, but, like, I think it's weird for my clients. Like,
It
they
would be
wanna
so
see,
weird.
like, healthy skin.
Right.
So the color science, like, tinted
Oh, yeah.
SPFs, like the Flex,
Yep.
that's really big right now. The blushes are really
Yep.
big, because they're all SPF. So,
Yep.
like, when during the day, say you're out and you want to, like, you're at an event, they have, like, a really cute, like, bronzer stick, like, glow stick, like,
Yep.
done. Like,
Yep.
you're good to go.
Yep.
I like their stuff, but, like, I know that's not.
No, no, no. No, here's where my brain goes as a makeup artist versus
Yeah.
the skincare person you are. Um, just like tinted moisturizer and bronzer stick, like to me, my face goes to like evening people's faces out, right? So
Yeah.
like it's like and like balance. So I'm like, wait a minute, if you have like discoloration within your face, even slightly, like you don't, so you don't have that issue.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're just using a bronzer stick and like everything else is sheer. It's like you're just adding discoloration to your face in
Yeah.
my eyes. You know
I
what I mean?
agree.
Instead of
But
like blanking out the slate first.
I think that the Flex is cool because it goes on white and then
Oh.
it tints to your skin. So
Ah,
it's like a
yeah, yeah.
color matching,
Yes.
like a BB cream type of
Yes.
deal.
Yes.
So I think that's where, like, it's kind of like your saving grace.
Yep.
But if you had significant pigment, like, it's not gonna, like,
Right.
even your tone out. Like, that's
Right.
not what it's gonna do.
So are we talking the women that don't like to put on makeup every day? Is more so your
Y- Yeah, I mean, but I have both sides. Like, I
Mm.
have girls that love makeup, come in with a full face to get a facial. It's like 4 cleanses later, then we starting, which is fine. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, you
Yeah.
can wear as much makeup as you want.
Right.
I've had drag queens come after a full, like, party that they did, and they come in to get their facial done because they wear so much makeup for, like, a long length of time.
Yep.
So they're like, we just need to clean up.
Yep.
And that's fine.
Yep.
But most of my clients are in that, like, 50s range.
Yep.
And they don't want to wear a ton. They want light to medium coverage without, like,
Let me ask you, is there a certain age where your skin gets duller?
after 30,
Okay.
I would say. At that point, I'm like, let's use a retinol.
Is the skin thinning out and so areas that are discolored might peek through? So let's say like I have discoloration, like because I have veins running through here. So without
You're
concealer,
vascular, yeah.
super dark in here. Like does that happen as you age too with
Yeah, well, I
is your
mean,
skin
yeah,
thinning?
yeah, but so how I like to tell people too, and it also goes with laxity, because a lot of the times people think like it's pigment, but it's actually like, I mean, most of the time it is, but like sometimes where their skin is like relaxed, it
Yes.
looks like a shadowing
Yes,
effect.
correct.
So I always say, like, when you're born, your face is like a upside down triangle. So your volume is at the top and then you narrow down. As you age, that flips and you start to get gaunt in these areas here, and then you get the jowling. So, like, we want to prevent that.
Yes.
So you can with makeup. You can have the illusion of
Yeah, but
things
it's
of
so
being
annoying.
higher,
And here's the thing is, so like I do makeup lessons too, and
which I need to take
when
because I
and
haven't done it in a long time.
it's not like a plug or anything, but
No, it's okay.
and like I'm totally cool with telling people like there's only so much makeup will do, but also like only so much you want makeup to do, right? So it's like
Yeah.
I'd be like, go get some Botox or something, or like I'm totally
Yeah.
all for like, or go get a facial, like do things
Yeah.
cosmetically to
Absolutely.
help. Like
Makeup
who
can't
wants
work miracles. You know what I mean? But neither can skincare. Like there's a point where you're like, hey, listen, like we have to do something a little bit
right,
more aggressive.
right.
But I think that people have this like misconception where they see these celebrities and they see them put makeup on. And I'm like, this celebrity spends thousands on her
Right.
face a month. Like that is not just makeup.
Well, that
It's
and
just
then
not.
I don't like the fact that people don't realize that there's camera makeup and then there's real life makeup.
Yeah.
And so, and even like, I'm not putting anyone down or anything like that, but even makeup artists, their work looks amazing on Instagram because that's behind a lens. And so, like, if you were to see that bride in person, like, you might actually see the contour lines. And like,
I would be so pissed. Imagine.
but in
like,
her picture, she'll look great because it's designed
yeah.
for a picture. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but I feel like people be like, Alexis, like blend your nose in.
Right. And so I just hope that people realize there's a difference and there needs to be like a marriage between the two. But a lot of people don't think of that. They just think of the Instagram picture.
Well, I think that Instagram and TikTok is like the thing now. Like
Yeah,
it's like
it is.
the craze. Who's your favorite like makeup
I don't.
influencer?
Do you want to know what? I love the lipstick lesbians.
Oh,
Have
I
you
haven't
ever heard of
No,
them?
are they good?
They're not like, I don't follow any makeup people.
Wait, didn't you
I
send
don't
they have a
care.
podcast?
Yeah.
I think you sent
Oh,
me
not a
like
podcast. They have a Instagram where they have like little
yeah.
videos. Yeah. I don't follow anybody else. You know why? Because she's in manufacturing.
Okay.
And so she knows about the ingredients and she knows about the packaging.
How are you with like Jeffree Star? Do you like his
Indifferent.
makeup?
Haven't heard, followed anything like that.
Have you ever used it? Like any of
Oh
his stuff?
no. Mm-mm.
I almost was curious. I don't use it. No, who I like, who I think is cool, but maybe just because I like true crime, is that girl Bailey. Saria. Nick, can you look her up for me?
I could probably be the worst person to talk about influencers because I don't care about influencers.
Well,
You know why?
the only reason why I like her is because she talks about true crime while she's
I've
doing
seen
her makeup.
Yes,
So
that's
she's
cool.
like in 1997.
Yes, that's
this
see,
person
that's
went
how
missing,
I
and it was
do-
like a story, and she's doing her makeup, and it's
Yes.
like this "Get Ready with Me," but like
Yes,
listen
no,
to
that's
this
cool.
crazy.
What's her name?
It's like Bailey Sarian, Sarian.
And
How do I say it? I don't know.
that's actually how I view doing my own makeup.
S-A-R. Yeah.
I will listen to a podcast. I will listen
Yeah, this
to
girl. And she's gorgeous.
Yes.
I love her. I just want to be friends with her. Maybe she'll
you
come on my
should.
show. I'd love that.
You totes
But
should.
I love her true crime. Like,
And she definitely worked for Mac. If she didn't,
I don't know her
She's like a
history
girl, you
at
can tell.
all, but she's beautiful. I love her style.
Me
I
too.
love her makeup choices. I also think that genetics comes into factor here.
yeah,
I think that she has great bone structure. So like
agree.
what she does is going to look good. She has no hooded lids, so like
True.
also good. Her brows, love them. I mean, everything for her, like she's got it.
No, I
Like,
agree.
I really like her. The tattoos do her good. I think she's cute.
Not textured skin, you can tell.
No, and her skin's beautiful.
So that's where I do feel like makeup does not come in as well to save the day as is texture.
So do you have like a texture product that you use like to even them out?
There is a makeup from MAC, and that is it's designed. So I used to use it a lot when I did makeup at Harvard for men to get rid of stubble because it smooths out the skin. It's like a cream
what
to
were
powder.
What were you putting on men for? Were they like on camera? Like,
Yeah, they were doing. I don't know, probably can't talk about it, but it's like Harvard like has their own videos for management, so they would like
Oh.
sell like these management videos. It was all like CEOs of global companies.
That's cool.
Yeah, I did makeup for like the former president of Trader Joe's, Honest Company.
Oh, like Honest Brand?
Yeah.
Like, what's her face? Jessica Alba?
No. Honest Tea, Honest Kids. That
Oh.
brand. Drinks. Yeah. So a lot of random people, but they all their skin is discolored, and so like that's why I know the difference between like on camera
Yeah.
and not. It's like you can look fine in person, but once you get on camera, I'm gonna see the redness in your cheeks. I'm gonna see, why is your nose so red and bulbous?
So
Drinking lately?
fun story. Alice couldn't do my makeup one time. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to get my makeup done. Nick and I were filming that day. It was like a whole thing. And this girl comes and when you see a makeup artist roll up and like immediately this is a bad idea. Like I was
No,
like,
I'm
fuck.
sorry,
She's like,
no.
I just drove. Then she texted me and she's like, yo, can
Oh.
you give me gas money? Venmo me gas money. And I was like, okay, like this should have kind of been like part of like the whole
Red
thing.
flags.
Like whatever.
Okay.
So she shows up like with her friend. And I'm like,
Red flag.
weird, but okay, sure. Her kit, don't even get. I'm a sanitation freak, and you are too. Like you're very sanitary,
Yeah.
and I think that comes with just like a level of professionalism. Like this is a career. This isn't like a hobby.
Well, when we worked for Mac, there was a lot of like liability stuff, so they taught us sanitation like crazy. Yeah,
like you have to. So she shows up, and I am a very easy person. I would feel like to do makeup too, because
super.
I'm like, I just like the Kim K natural glowy, but like.
You're not asking for anything that someone.
I want like neutrals. Like I don't want anything crazy, cute, smoky eye, nothing. Like no color. And she goes, okay, I got it. Do you want a wing? I'm gonna send Nick this picture if I find it and post it up in here.
Wait, and that's kind of mean.
No, it's not. I'm not tagging her in it. I'm just posting what she did. I hate wings. You know me. I'm like, I have a hooded lid. Like it looks stupid.
There's ways to do it, but you don't like it. Okay.
Yeah. She does this thing and Nick looks at me and he goes, fucking take that off. He goes, what did you do? Mind you, we're like both freaked out because they're telling us this story and really like they just drove from like Rhode Island. Nick, what did you feel about that day? Was that just like out of control?
I think it's one of those things where like I legitimately, I say it all the time and I feel like nobody ever believes me. I'm like, if you look like crap, I'm going to let you know, because people are always, you know, I deal
in front of the person.
Well,
he'll tell me.
Oh, in front of the makeup artist? No, I'm not trying to insult anybody's work or anything like that. But I would I pulled Alexis aside. It's my job, right? Like I'm a producer.
Look good. Like,
I'm her media content creator, manager, and producer, and she hired me to make sure that the stuff that we do makes her look good. And when she doesn't look good, it's my job to inform her.
I agree.
And this person made her look like she was trying to audition for the next Broadway production of Cats. I mean, it was like fucking.
Oh, geez.
It was And I'm being dramatic, right? Like it looked like makeup. It looked like makeup, but it just made you look
older.
Like your name was Alexis. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh my god,
you know what I mean? Like it went from Alexis Arsenis to like Alexis Gonzalez and like in two wings. That's
that's being edited out, right?
No,
I'm sure of it.
why
I'm
not?
sure of it.
No, it's the truth. Listen.
True. It was definitely more, and there's nothing against
this.
This
isn't 1993, and we don't live in Los Angeles. Okay,
Yeah.
You didn't need
It
to
was
look like
definitely
the
more
Chicana,
Latina, like
Chola look.
Right. Which, by the way, the reason I mention it, just to kind of defend myself for a second here and saying that stuff, it's not because Latinas or Chicanas or whatever are bad. You're not them. It would almost look like blackface. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's like offensive. Like if I, no.
Like that wasn't you. It wasn't your culture. It wasn't like what you were trying to go for. And you looked, this
angry?
Specific one, it looked like a Halloween costume of a Chicana Chola kind of look.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was not good.
This whole time I'm texting her and I'm like, why the fuck are you not here? Like,
I think I was away.
This is a problem. Like,
this is when Alice was in Greece.
No, were you in Greece?
No, I was in Aruba.
Aruba.
Oh, Aruba. I'm sorry. It was Perino who went to Greece. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So was this because you had a hooded lid and she had trouble?
No, the whole look was just awful.
Okay.
Like even like
because I'll be honest, even me, like it can be challenging with a hooded lid.
I would love to get my lids done. That's the next thing. That's the next surgery on the list.
No, I'm not.
Like,
it's
no,
just
it is,
there's
though.
a way to do it. You just have to know the steps, and you
Team
have to know.
blepharoplasty, guys. Team bleph. You know, take it off. I'm done. You don't need it.
Boy,
I can't. But it was so bad. Like not even like a little bit bad. So then obviously now I have to film, and this girl's still in my store.
Oh, so you
so
can't.
I'm like, is she gonna leave? Like, am I gonna? I literally wanted to.
You're like, I want to wash it off.
I just like paid, and it wasn't like expensive. It was just like
bad.
why did I pay for this? Like,
Yes,
this isn't what I
yes.
paid for, right?
Like, you could have done a better job on your own. So
1000%.
why would I?
Truthfully, I don't have to get my makeup done, but like in things when I film, like I like to, like I think it feels
It's one
good
less
to like
thing
get
to
it
think-
done.
Yep.
I think there's an element of like when you do your makeup, like when you get it done, it's like you just feel it's like this elevated feeling.
Yes.
So like I enjoy it.
Yep.
But that was just, and like you know how we set up downstairs in Bloom, and she's like not like taking how she was taking the concealer and like the foundation out of the bottles and like just like reusing things
Not
like
sanitary.
skeeved me.
Yeah.
And like not, I don't know, when I do my makeup, even at home, because my kids touch everything,
Yep.
like I generally wash my brushes like almost all the time
Yep.
because it's just otherwise they'll grab them and next thing you know there's black shadow on my wall.
Yeah.
So she just like took the brushes and like put them back in her little bag and I was like,
Oh, see, I have a bag for dirty brushes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. But
Yeah.
like skeevy.
Yeah. Weird.
And yeah, no.
I was just gonna say something. I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. So going back to the sanitary thing, going back to everything. So I wonder because, not to be rude to Mac, sorry Mac, but like,
Hold that mic in a little bit closer to you if you don't mind. There you go.
I wonder where these younger makeup artists are getting their experience from.
Yeah.
Because they're like, obviously, especially since COVID, there's not a lot of in-store employees anymore as much as they used to be. And so the training for those employees is probably not there anymore.
Yep.
And so everything's more like online based and like they've made things so consumer friendly to the point where you can read more about the product online instead of
Mhm.
they used to rely on the employees to give the customer the information verbally.
Yeah, I also think like in aesthetic school, the makeup sector of aesthetic school is deplorable at best.
It's
Like
not
it's awful.
existent.
It doesn't matter where you go to school. It's very much they go through the history, right? They go through like in 1950 this was this look and they go through the looks of the generations and different eras and all the bullshit.
Right.
But it's like no one's rocking pencil thin brows and a red lip right now.
Right.
Like that's not the look.
Right.
So like
Yeah, there's no education.
what are we doing?
And then like there's something to be said about like that in-store makeup experience where you're helping like so many people.
Yeah.
Anybody could walk in through that door, any face, and you would have to deal with it. Like you'd have to figure it out. You know, we also had sales goals. Probably shouldn't get into all of it, but
that's good though. You need, I mean, I don't think you're wrong for saying that because sales goals, yes, that makes sense. But like, it's not like you're selling them something they don't actually need. If you're using it on their face, like that's educating them like, hey, listen, this product is better for you than this one. Maybe this one's more expensive, but this one is actually the one that will do better for you. So I think that people and estheticians, makeup artists get into this bad habit where they're like, I don't want to be salespeople. Right. And I'm like, it's not that you're a salesperson because it's not selling. You're educating them, and in that time, you're selling them what they need.
Correct.
Like it's not like
and that's why
a
I
used
feel
car salesman. Like you're selling them what you need.
And that's why going back to the whole Mac thing is like they really trained us. We had trainings like every 6 months or so where we would get together at a facility and we would learn about all the upcoming makeup because you know how they always had like limited edition stuff coming out. We would learn the ingredients in the products, who is this best for, and then obviously customer service on top of that. So it was like in the sales goal. So it's like if we have a sales goal of 1,200 per 6-hour shift, we're going to have to meet those customers' needs. And we also don't want them to return the product because that will go against our sales goal. Yeah. So
did you make commission or was it like
at first we did goal? At first we did off of makeup applications and then I don't remember if we did after that. But then it was just like a sales goal per shift.
Okay.
And so and the store that I worked at was super busy. So I was helping so many. Yeah. I was helping so many people. And it was like if I wanted to make my sales goal, I had to be concise. I had to know, give them what they needed, give them as much as possible. I mean, but that's the thing is I never felt bad because I never felt like I was giving someone a bad product.
That's the thing. Like,
you know,
I get into this all the time. Like the idea of you educating someone and then buying the product that they need for their needs isn't a sales pitch. You're just doing them what they deserve. Like, if that's the look you want. Like, I mean,
and
you
at
want
the
a
end
Maserati,
of the day,
you get a Maserati. You're not going to look at a Toyota Camry.
But you go to Maserati to get it, right?
Yeah. You go to,
So I never felt bad.
Thing,
I never felt bad because I'm like, they walked into the store I
Yeah.
didn't go out and get them and say, you need to buy this, like spend your
Yeah.
money. They walked into the store. So I was like, all right,
Yeah, you gotta
it's fine. And it's all quality products. So I was like, whatever, it's great.
I know I
It's
have
fine.
to make an appointment to go there. But truthfully, it's like I never have time.
I don't know
know.
what level of training they have anymore. That's my
I just want to.
that's my
That's
spiel.
why I asked you. I'm like, what am I buying for? a
Yeah, like
palette?
I just don't know. And so when I see these younger makeup artists and that are like on Instagram and whatever, I'm like, what do you have for experience though? Like anybody could say that they're doing makeup and like take a picture of like one person, but I'm like, how do I know that anyone could go to you and you could meet their needs?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that your like the way you do makeup is different because you have an art degree and because you're an artist as well. I think that you look at the color wheel and like people's undertones and you look at things as a whole
Yeah.
thing versus like this is the look.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I
weird.
mean?
It's weird because everyone always told me that, and I never got it because it's just kind of like innately a part of me, and I know that makes no sense, but like I've always loved to draw, like since I was little, like I've always understood like color and art and like different, color pencils, markers, paint, like all of those things. So it's so ingrained in me that I don't realize it. But even when I was working with Mac, like people would be like, how do you, like people that I would work with, they'd be like, how do you just like look at someone and then you pick up the foundation color? I'm like, because I just see, I don't know what else to say. Like I see
Yeah.
it. But now I realize it's just like my eye has been so trained, like
Yeah.
to see color, to see undertones, to see like if I took paints and I can mix your skin tone because
Yeah.
I would have like because I can paint you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like it's kind of like that.
It's not
but-
like, oh, we don't have your shade.
right.
You
like
know what I mean?
it's
Like you don't have the shade of yellow for Alexis. Like,
well that I see that right away. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're very yellow, undertoned.
I am.
But everyone
Remember
has like
that day that I saw you? I was like oddly yellow.
yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever been that yellow. And I don't know if it was
well, you were
the
doing like a
light.
detox thing.
I was, but I was like, I
Yeah.
felt like a banana. Like I was
yeah.
so yellow.
You were like devoid of life.
Yeah, you were like, are you alive? Like you guys?
Like pulse.
Yeah, you're like, where's
Pulse.
your pulse at?
Oh God, that was.
But I
crazy.
think that like, well, from a business standpoint, when you first started doing makeup, like how does that change for you? Because you were doing it like at weddings and now you have a studio.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
like business wise, business must be good for you. You're busy.
Yeah. So it's just a small little room, but it's all I really
Well,
need.
yeah. She does good rub on tans too. I've done one with her.
I don't do those anymore. I'm sorry. I don't do them anymore.
Why? Because it was too much?
It's
Or you were
ju-
just sick of rubbing people's titties?
that too. No, because you know what? I realize that people they go to their like spray tan place and they just love the convenience of it, and I get it, and it's like just wasn't worth
but
my.
I feel like rub on tan was good.
Yeah.
I was black.
Yeah, you were really
Remember?
tan. Yeah,
We were like
you were really tan.
Remember, Nick? I came in and I was like a different race.
I don't know if that we want to keep in.
Well, no, I
What
was
are we
like
talking
not.
about?
No, when I did my tan with her.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Oh, the
came
first
in
couple
and
of
I
times
was
when we
like-
did the white sheet.
Yeah,
things?
we did the white sheet thing.
Yeah.
And I was
You were
like,
very dark.
I
It was a little patchy in some places.
Yeah, remember? Because I did it and then she did my makeup right after. And then I came here and I was like,
Yeah.
little,
That was
little patch
very.
fantastic.
yeah.
But it was fine. But you couldn't tell on camera.
No, it looked great on camera.
That's what I want.
But in person,
Horrible.
That's what
Hard to look at. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. You look great.
my eyes looked good. I was like, can I
I'm
wash
kidding.
everything off except my eyes?
I would love spray tans. I mean, whatever they're called. Self tan. I would
Yeah.
love self tan to fucking get with the times. Let's add more violet pigments. Let's stop being so
Yeah.
orange and yellow based.
I don't
Let's figure the
understand why
smell
we
out.
haven't-
Let's
the
figure
smell.
everything out.
Ugh.
Like let's figure it all
I also,
out.
you know what I don't like? Because I'm so fair, right? So like for me, spray tan kind of sucks because the second you start to like crumble,
Mhm.
you look like shit. And then you're
Oh,
like,
I know.
And you're like, wait a minute.
Well,
Like, is
especially
there an
for you.
extender? Like,
Especially for you.
Because
Because you're so light that right, you're gonna see your own color peeking through fast, and it'll be patchier and all that, rather than blended if you already have like some sort of a base tan.
I remember doing fashion shows and not that I did them a lot, but like I did a couple like wedding fashion shows that I had to do. And I never would get a spray tan before because these girls would be wearing like I was always like the petite short
Yeah.
model. and they were like all doing spray tan, and they'd get spray tan all over these beautiful dresses.
Are you serious?
And I heart attack. I was like, oh my God. Like, can you imagine?
No, I'm having a panic attack.
$8,000 dress at this tiny boutique. It's probably one of the most expensive at her boutique or whatever it is.
Are you kidding?
And the model gets it like gross.
I have fears about that with makeup. And so when people are like, oh, can you cover like here? And I'm like, where is the dress?
Or like tattoos. Like, do you get freaky with that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do.
I don't like how tattoos look covered. I think that there's just no good way to do it. It
Right.
looks like shit.
I
I'd
agree.
rather just see your fucking tattoo.
I agree.
Like,
100%.
if you didn't like your like, first of all, I have tattoos that I probably would prefer not to have now as now that I'm older. But I'm not going to like on my wedding day bleep them out. I'm just going to wear a nice long sleeve
Well, the
dress.
reason for that is because there's always going to be a texture difference unless you are putting makeup all over that person's body. So you're going to see the texture difference between the skin around the tattoo that you covered up and the makeup. There's
it's
always
the pigment though. These people, I saw a girl the other day. She had this dragon tattoo in the middle of her back, and she had this cute strapless dress on, and it was like her skin tone and then orange and yellow. And I was like,
yeah. Right.
And I'm watching the girl do it, like patting all the powders and all these different colors. And I was like,
well, that's the other thing is the amount of powder you have to use to make it like as non-transferable as possible is going to like make it look darker and more textured. And it's just a big no. But I'll do it for people, of course, but it's just never going to look great.
What's like a makeup horror story?
For
you ever
me?
had like a client that was just like the freaking worst to do their makeup?
Okay, so
horror stories. I want to hear like
I wouldn't call it a horror story. I would call it just interesting.
Okay.
So when I was working at MAC, there was a couple men who came in for makeup. So they came in for makeup and they had like a bag with them and full on man, stubble, all of it. And like a wig in hand, maybe. I'm trying to like get the picture.
Okay.
Dressed, I think one was dressed like a woman, the other one wasn't. Anywho. But okay, but the weird part about it was like as I was doing their makeup, they were like staring into my soul.
It's so awkward.
And that doesn't really happen.
I like to close my eyes and just relax.
Yeah.
It's like more of therapeutic for me. Like
right.
I'm not like, not that I don't want to look at you, but like we talk.
No.
And then I'm like, I'm just sitting there like, oh,
well, that was the difference is that it was like a stare into my soul. Like
I hate when people do that during facials. Freaks me out.
And it's like
you're rubbing their face and you're like, hey, how you doing? I'm
but
like,
now imagine
close your eyes. Like, what do you mean? Just close them.
Yeah, like, but imagine if it was a guy now.
I've had those. Guys that are like, oh my God, like I've never had a facial before. Like, I'm going to get this done, and they're just staring at you.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy. I don't know. I've had guys that were doing a Brazilian. And they were like,
wait.
Literally, they
Explain
were like,
what that is.
They were
like
getting a wax.
Like
full thing. Everything. See you later. Back and everything. Flip it over. Pick the cheek up.
Stop.
Full thing. Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm ignorant to that.
No, it's true. And I was like the only girl at the time that would do them. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm not touching it. Like, move your junk. But like, I'll do it. Like, it's fine.
You didn't touch it all.
No, one time, like
you touched a little.
Like,
bit.
don't you have to just even a finger touch?
Just kidding.
No. Like, so
I'm just kidding, Lex. I'm totally.
like the awkward.
Tell us about
right?
the time.
Like,
Tell us about the time.
When you wax, like, right. So the proper way is like you make the little lip, you pull it on like with the grain, and then you pull against.
Okay.
And
is there a grain?
Like the meaning, like where the direction of the hair.
I know.
So like if it might go this way over here, it might go down. Like there might be multiple directions. But like after you rip it off, you apply pressure. People that don't do that, people that wax and don't apply pressure, I see these videos, throw up, disgusting. I don't understand it. Like that freaks me out. So there's been times where like you're holding the skin taut, you rip, and like your hand, like the back of my hand has hit it.
Yeah.
But like I don't like physically like move their wieners. Now,
not even a touch. Like you don't have to sometimes?
Like the side of my hand. I'm like, okay, like I need to shift you over a little bit. Like, can you pull this over? Like I tell them, I'm like,
you got to shift your shaft.
But it's
shaft shifter.
But it's the same.
Shaft shifter.
But you have to understand it's the same for like overweight women.
Oh, right.
So like if you're significantly overweight and I'm trying to get in there, But
True.
like when you lay down, your
Yeah.
stomach is over your
Yep.
vagina. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, use one leg to prop it up,
Yep.
the one leg. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's what makes you professional, is that like you understand that these things are just a fact of what you do.
yeah, and I walk them through it, because truthfully, like, if you think about it, like, we joke, but like, imagine being that
No, I
person
know.
that wants to get it done. Like, imagine being an overweight woman. A lot of the times when they're overweight, they have an issue with like ingrowns and like
Okay.
getting like
Mm-hmm.
cysts and things like that.
Yeah.
So like, it's more for like a like, it's like
Yeah.
they need to get it done, otherwise it's painful. So I mean, and there's that. But like with guys, like, yeah, I've had guys give me some creepy things. Usually it's the guys that are like, I've done it a couple times to them, but now I laser. So like, I don't do waxing anymore, but I do laser guys all the time. And
Where?
down there, they don't, a lot of guys like don't want to sweat. They don't like
Oh.
their butt to feel like
Yeah.
swampy.
Okay.
But they don't understand is like, when they don't have hair there, like, they're still going to sweat. It's just going to go on their underwear. Do you know what I mean? Like, the
Yep.
hair actually, like,
The swat doesn't go away.
yeah, exactly. It just
It's
feels,
the hairs away.
it
That's
feels like smoother, because
Yeah.
it's like, now it's just dripping down your butt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like, they don't care. They just don't want the hair.
Um,
In their mind, it's a cleanliness. They're like, I don't want hair there.
Are these heterosexual? I can't even
I
say
have
the word 'cause I'm
more.
just trying to
I
say
have
straight.
more straight men that come for that service than gay men or trans or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Like,
right.
a lot of them come, and this is how it goes. So they come in and they're like, I want to get my back lasered. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Totally normal. You know, like, I'm Greek, like, you married a Greek, they're all hairy as shit. Like, come on in. At least we'll debulk. A lot of Lebanese men.
Yeah. Super hairy.
So yeah, super hairy, thick, coarse, dark hair with like a lighter skin tone. So it's like the perfect mate for laser.
Is this going? I feel like it's going this way. Is it because you're like, well, your back hair goes down to your butt hair?
So
And then you're like,
that's
do you
how
want the
they-
line?
That's how they start.
Yeah.
So they start with the back, and then they're like, I just don't like that I'm doing my back. Like, you can see it
Right.
pop through.
And there's a line.
Yeah, but I also tell them straight up. I'm like, listen, like, I have like a mirror, and I like pull their, like, they'll be like, their back is facing the mirror, and I'm like, look in the mirror, and I make them turn around. And I'm like, if I take this off, like, this part of your lower back, almost your butt crack, is hairy. Like, so if you bend down, see how you see it? Like, do you not like that? And I walk them through it. But have I had creepy guys? Absolutely. I've had people get up. Like, I've made them leave.
Because
Yeah.
they want to
No.
fulfill some
no.
dreams.
No, they're like, maybe? I don't know. I've never had like a guy that was like, I want to do you.
Well, then what's weird about?
Like,
The
they're just like,
situations.
I guess they are like that, but they're like creepy about it. They're like, so hey, like, am I big?
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God!
Oh
Really?
my God.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
I've had a guy-
Why would that's so creepy?
Or they lead up with like, the guys that are the nicest about it are the guys that are making jokes because they're uncomfortable.
Oh.
They're like, oh, like, you know, or like, I have one client, I love him, and he always gives me $150 tip after every single time. He goes, no one should have to endure that. That's what he tells me. And he's the nicest.
That's cute though.
He's
I
the
love it.
nicest guy. Like,
That's
I
great.
love him.
That's great.
Low key, like, little crush on him. He's like adorable. Like, not like in a bad way. Like, not like that, but like, oh, you're just so cute.
Okay. Cute as a
But
button.
no, like, I've had guys that like make it awkward.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because then it came out that like Alexis does manzillions.
Is that what it's called?
That's the nickname, I guess. So
Okay.
that was like the big thing. And then
I would just be like, Alexis does assholes.
yeah.
It's like a little.
But I do women's
It's
too.
a little branding there.
Yeah. AA, Alexis assholes. Come on in.
Alexis does assholes.
Alexis is the
I
asshole.
can't.
Take it off. But
Oh.
I don't like pride myself on like doing them anymore. It's not what I love to do.
Yeah.
But do I do
But
them?
you'll do them,
Sure,
right.
absolutely. Like, I don't
Because who
really
else
care.
is really going to do it? Like, do you know a lot of people that say no as estheticians?
For men, yeah. A lot of the time it's a safety factor. Like,
Okay.
like they're
Yeah,
nervous
liability.
to be
Yeah.
in that situation.
Yeah.
A lot of business owners are afraid to allow it because they're like,
Yeah.
whatever.
If they're alone with them, like,
I grew up in spas. So like
right.
I got my first, I'll never forget. Greek, so I'm like fair skin, dark hair, and hairy. Like, whatever. Always 8 years old, fuzzy back. My nickname was Monkey. Like,
So cute.
whatever.
That's cute.
So, that's what my mom called me. She was like, "Oh, you're my little monkey."
That's
And
so
I'm like,
cute.
"Oh,
But not for
uh-huh."
you growing up.
No.
Like,
So
as,
I'm
yeah.
like 9,
Yeah.
right? Have hair. Because
Yeah.
like I had my period early. So like everything happened early.
Yeah.
My mom owned spas and there was like new people learning how to do Brazilians. And I was always hairy and was getting them done anyway. Like I was
Okay.
like 9, 10 years old, around that ballpark.
Okay.
I was already getting like my bikini line done. I wasn't getting full Brazilians. Obviously, my mom was like, if you want to just get the hair off on your
Okay.
bikini line, like I'm okay with it. And I would prefer to do it to you versus someone else doing
Okay.
it. So then when she was training, she was like, well, I didn't want hair anywhere. I was like, ugh, like I just don't like hair.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't like it. Like
Mhm.
take it off.
Yep.
So she put me on all fours. Like she did the front.
Were you horrified though?
I
Like-
was laughing. I was like, I was just kind of like, Mom, like everyone's here. But like to me, like I also like was the model for everything. So like when they had a salt glow treatment and they did this like European salt scrub treatment, like I wore the little tiny bikini and like they did the salt.
So it was a
treatment
norm
to
for
me.
you.
Yeah, like getting
Yeah.
these treatments, it was never anything that like my mom was telling me you have to
Okay.
do this and people were watching me. It wasn't creepy to
It was
me.
normalized
It
for
was
you.
just like, we need a model to learn this. Alexis, can you be the model? Like, I
Yeah.
know you're little, but it's just so they understand like what to do.
And you weren't like
And
5.
I loved it. Low key loved it. Like if the Instagram was back then, I would have been like, oh my God, getting my body done. Like I loved it. Like I had so much fun. Anytime they needed a makeup model, like I was the model every
that's
time.
cool.
So she was doing my Brazilian and I was like, Mom, I don't think, does your underwear even, like, I didn't even comprehend that there was like hair there. Like, because I mean, what do you do? Like bend over in the mirror and look? Like I wasn't
Right.
looking at
No,
it.
I know. Yeah.
So I was like, I was young.
Yeah.
So she takes it all off and like that was like the start.
Okay.
And
it's,
I was
it's
like,
cool when you paint the picture because like
yeah, I
this
guess
is
before I
why
should have
it's
painted the picture.
normalized for you. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like it wasn't creepy at all. Like if Olivia, my daughter, she's 3, like if she was like, Mom, I don't like hair when she's like 8, I'd be like, cool, I'll take it off
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I don't think like you should be, I think that waxing is one thing, like that's fine. And in some ways I like waxing better than shaving. I think people can like, young kids can hurt themselves shaving and they don't understand it. Or they overshave. Like I remember being a little kid and thinking that my hair, because my mom would be like, oh, you're my hairy Greek. And she would tell me that my leg hair was going to grow in and I would like shave my legs. And I remember I actually still like low-key probably still have the scar. Yeah, I do. Like I like cut myself shaving and but I was in bed. Like I was in my bed with like a razor head, like holding it. Like, oh my God, my hair is going to grow back.
Like
And I was scared.
Any ounce of stubble, like
Anything. I was like freaking out.
Wow.
Like hair freaked me out. I was like,
Okay.
take it the fuck off.
So this makes sense why you're like anti-hair person and
Yeah,
that
like,
you would wax people's
I don't
assholes.
care. Like it doesn't, because I don't look at it in a sexual way.
Yeah.
I look at it like,
It's factual. It's
yeah,
just,
like you don't like your hair, like let's take it off.
Yep.
Like it's okay. But I also don't think like, I've also had the other side where it's like, it's young girls coming in for like full Brazilians and I don't feel comfortable doing them.
young.
Like, yeah, like young.
7.
Like young. Yeah. Like the moms are like, no, you need to do this.
What age do you think is good, or what signifies?
I honestly think like you can get your bikini down. There's a big difference between doing a bikini line and doing a full no hair thing.
Mhm.
I think that like,
if it's not
I
up
don't
to
know.
them.
I think it's just kind of weird.
You
Yeah,
think
if it's
it's-
not up to that, like I feel like
you
it
think it's
gets
weird
kinda
if the mom isn't saying my daughter is really uncomfortable the fact
Yeah.
that she has hair
And
here.
then usually like if they're under 18, like mom's in the room.
Mhm.
Like that's liability 101. Like mom's in the room, she can face the other way, but like there's a parent there.
Yep.
I have had young girls as of recently come in to get, they're like 16 that have come in and I've had to deny them because I'm like, you have, or one girl, she was like, I have spots. And I'm like, what do you mean you have spots? And I'm like, I have my gloves on, like everything's prepped. And I'm like, you can't get anything done because you have to go to the doctors right now. And they're like, why? I can't tell them like, hey, it looks like you have herpes. But like that's,
I didn't know that's.
Oh,
didn't know
yeah.
that's what you meant.
yeah, I get that a lot.
Ooh.
especially with like high school girls. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's kind of gross, but like this is so off topic. I'm so sorry. We kind of like went off on this. But yeah, no, like I think that what has to happen, and I think this goes for makeup and skincare, body care, whatever. I think that you need to have like open lines of communication and communicate with like you're the professional you're talking to, but like what you want to get done. But also like for these young girls that may be watching this, like communicate with your parents. And if you don't have someone to communicate with, like you need to find someone to confide in. I'm sure there's like someone that you can find. I mean,
I agree. I think it has to, you have to talk about if it bothers you or not. Because I feel like if the girls are coming in and the mothers are just purely the ones being like, I want her to have a Brazilian, it's like, and the daughters are just like, you know, like I feel like the daughter has to, the mother has to express.
It's not comfortable, by the way, either. Like it's not like you're just like putting some makeup on someone's face. That's comfortable. You know what I mean? Like I'm like taking it. It's not comfortable.
I feel
So
like
it's,
the
like,
mother, like you have to know from the mother, like, is it bothering the daughter?
Yeah.
You know,
body language is huge for me. But I also think too, actually when so what happened is I had done this client for a very long time. And she couldn't get a ride by her mom. So her mom called me and was like, her boyfriend's going to ride her. Like, I'm just stuck with the baby. Like, is there any way, like, she's had a million treatments. Would it be okay to treat her?
Yeah.
And so I did, which I probably now regret. Because when I called the mom to tell her, like, hey, listen, like, unless she has a doctor's note to come back here, like clearing her that those spots are either she's on medication or like whatever, like I just don't feel comfortable touching her. And I don't think that there's a problem with that. I mean, I'm sure some estheticians on here are going to give me shit like, oh, like who do you think you are, da, da, da. But like as a mom, like I would have wanted a call too. So like I called her mom and I was like, hey, listen, like she has some patches.
Does that bring up the topic that someone should be of an age that they can have their own conversation with you and you don't ever have to call a mom?
I don't like doing under 18 for that. But I understand as someone who grew up like getting picked on because I had bikini hair so young.
Okay.
And like underarm hair. Like I understand that too. Like there is a big, like right now vanity is huge, right? You have Instagram, TikTok, all these things. Like you're going to the beach with your friends and you have hair coming out of your bikini line. Like you're going to get made fun of. Like it's going to happen. I'm sorry. And it sucks that it's going to happen. Like unless you're with a bunch of like crunchy people on like some nude beach that don't give a shit. But like these teenagers they rip. I hear the drama when I have these girls and I'm sure you hear it when you're doing makeup and they rip each other apart. Like it is awful. And I understand the young girl that's like 16 that's saying, I really just want to take this off. Or the young girl that's 16 that doesn't like her face that wants to do makeup and like you coach them in that. Like I'm okay with that. Yeah. But I think there's a line.
I think it's important to bring it up to your daughter if you're noticing whether like they have a lot of pimples all of a sudden or they have hair in areas that they might not be even aware of, but you know that another friend or boy might say something when they're in a bikini or something. I think it's good to be like, oh, I noticed it's like some red spots on your face. Like, does it bother you? Like,
but I think this goes to parenting, and this is like, I guess this is kind of where this conversation is going. I think that parents now need to parent and have conversations, and not always be like, kids shouldn't have to rely on social media to get like advice on those things. You know, you should have those difficult conversations. I also think in my end of the world in skincare, parents don't want to deal with it, so they send them to dermatologists and they get put on medication. And that's where I have a problem. Like
oral. You have a problem with oral medication? Okay.
Absolutely.
But how about topical?
I don't think it's necessary in all cases because I think that most of the time you can control that with proper skincare, diet.
Interesting.
Like, there's a lot of things that go into it.
I think that's something that a lot of mothers don't think about, though, which is cool that you're educating people because I feel like they think dermatologist right away because they think skin doctor rather than like skin. What would you call yourself?
That gets paid to write prescriptions. Like you're not treating someone's skin. Like a big thing in high school is Accutane. Like it's a huge problem. And doing makeup on someone that has Accutane super dry.
Yep.
Super dry. Like you're using a ton of moisturizer, Studio Fix, whatever that you need for them because their texture is literally like a raisin.
Yeah.
But
so you're saying
quick fix. Try seeing an esthetician first, like an educated esthetician that knows what they're talking about.
Very interesting. Very huge that this needs to come out, I feel.
Yeah, like before you decide to get Like, and has there been times where I, even myself, been like, you know what, maybe we should consult with a derm and do it together.
Okay.
Like, it's not saying that I'm better than a dermatologist because we're not the same type of
Yep.
people. We do very different things. But I think before you give your child a pharmaceutical medication that has significant side effects, because every medication has side effects, why wouldn't you try the less invasive option? Because your skin is telling a story. So like if you're breaking out in your forehead, nose, chin, it's stress, whether it's physical or mental. Jawline, generally hormonal. Upper cheekbones, generally diet. You know, it can tell you the story that you can figure these problems out without having to go on that medication.
So you would say you're step 1.
I'm step 1. I should be step 1.
Yep.
But I am not usually step 1 because my step 1 takes time and commitment.
Yeah.
Step 1 for dermatologists is a medication and you will be clear, but your diverticulitis, Crohn's disease, infertility. I mean, there's a slew of side effects to that medication.
You do like gut health too.
We do. Yeah. Because it is all with the gut, you know? I mean, if you
and hormones, right?
1000%. But I feel like we need to treat everything as a whole and like help people out. And I think that, you know, I love makeup and I love covering things and that's amazing. But like, if you have some serious things going on, like
I have something to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a gripe. I don't know what it is. It's just
do it.
A conversation. So recently there's this craze over skincare makeup, like a lot of skincare and makeup. I have a problem with it.
Okay.
I don't know if I would say I have a problem.
Give me a brand.
I don't have a problem with House Labs. Fine. Also MAC. Every brand is coming out with their own makeup that has about 80+% skincare in it. To me, that's not makeup anymore. It's more skincare.
Like tinted SPF. It's like a tinted whatever.
Like I would like there to become a new genre of makeup or a new category, which is skincare makeup.
And we have construction next door today.
So I think there should be a new category called skincare makeup. I think that should be a claim. A lot of them do claim like 87% skincare, which like MAC has one called Studio Radiance, 87% skincare ingredients. Great, fine, wonderful. But can we call it, and it does cover well. So like I'm not, this is why it's a conversation, not necessarily a gripe or whatever. I do think they're making strides as far as like having a lot of skincare ingredients and having that makeup aspect to it. But I do also feel like when you have a good amount of skincare, then you're taking away from the makeup because also it makes it so that it doesn't stay as well. There's less ingredients to make it perform.
Exactly.
As makeup.
So that's why clients need to work synergistically with using good product and home care with me and keeping their skin right and then going to you for that enhancement. Like it's two separate things. Like you can't have both.
And like you can, but like I don't
use color science. It's cute, but you're not going to get full coverage.
Right. Like I feel like I don't know, and I guess I'm just like it's still a new thing. It's still like makeup is trying to do both at the same time because there is such an emphasis on taking care of your skin, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm just saying that sometimes people don't realize that if you're using mostly skincare makeup, it's not going to perform as it's going to perform differently.
Yeah.
Differently.
Maybe not the way that you want
keyword is
makeup
different.
to last or stay.
Right.
Well, I had fun chatting with you today. I think this was a good time. I know you have such a crazy busy day today.
I'm good.
But thank you guys for tuning in to the Real Aesthetic Podcast. Please follow us on all of our channels and on Instagram at Real Aesthetic Pod. What is your
So my Instagram is at Alice Varelas Makeup Artist, and then I also have Alice Varelas Artistry. So
follow, like, subscribe, all the things. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.